Hey friends, I'm so happy to come to you today and just super excited about the holidays that are coming up. I love Thanksgiving. We have a lot of really fun traditions that we do at my house, and I will be baking my butt off. You guys will get this on Tuesday, so I'm pretty much baking Tuesday and Wednesday. I do homemade cinnamon rolls, regular rolls, apple pie, French silk. It's just going to be amazing. I can't wait to get all nice and stuffed, right? So I hope you guys are well. I hope this finds you good, and happy Thanksgiving to my US listeners. So as I was planning today's episode, I totally switched gears on myself, which I do often. I will say, you guys know I talk about this all the time. I love to go with my intuition. And this morning, I was tapping into that, doing my normal morning routine, when I discovered that today for the podcast, I would be talking about something different than what I had previously decided on. So we're going to do something a little bit different today. This is definitely a teaching podcast episode. However, I'm going to do it a little different. I'm going to do some storytelling around my experience as a photographer and how you can use your intuition in your business. And I just want to lay out the best ways to tap into that intuition so that all your sessions and all your days are just more flowy and inviting and so productive. So productive, you guys. Everybody needs this information. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I know you are going to love it. Hey friend, welcome to Deep Healing for Creative Entrepreneurs. My name is Aubrey Barr, and I am a subconscious release technique practitioner and photography business owner. I know you are sick of ending your day feeling overwhelmed and exhausted, and you are seeking a solution to help you feel creatively inspired and actively engaged in your business as well as personal life. In this podcast, we are going to dig into any limiting beliefs or subconscious programs that are keeping you in a space filled with anxiety and stress. This work is not a temporary solution for your life. No, this is a complete transformation. So grab your coffee or tea and let's start you on the road to healing. And let me just say, you can do this. You are worth it, and you are meant to thrive in life and business. So let's dig in. All right, friends, so just as a preface for this wonderful episode I'm going to share with you guys today, if you have not listened to episode 11, it's all about my morning routine. Now would be a great time to listen to that, or after this episode, because this technique that I use and the way that I lay things out definitely stack on that morning routine that I do every day. So yes, take a listen to that. It really helps to open up the pathways so that this kind of bringing my intuition into my business just rolls out easily and with no issues whatsoever. So this is absolutely my behind the scenes as you can get with someone like me. I am notoriously very, I don't want to say sporadic, but I kind of do. My mom was ADHD. I have like a lot of these idiosyncrasies where I'm like hopping around things, and never been diagnosed with anything like that. However, you should see me clean my house. Okay. Everything is like a mess and I'm doing 12 things at once. So, it's hard to record an episode sometimes that is so strategic. That is why I love to talk, and that's why I love to paint the picture for everybody. So bear with me as I paint this picture, okay? When I have a session, when I have an episode I need to record for the podcast, when I have a group session or mentoring session that I feel like I need to be prepared for, whenever I have something going on in my business that I want to be like top notch, ready and here for it, I will do strategic things to activate my intuition, to get grounded, and to be ready to receive any kind of extra inspiration or downloads or guidance that I'm in need for. I should say too, this is 100% part of my brand identity. Being intuitive, being able to handle challenges in the spur of the moment, being able to handle things that would knock other people down, where they wouldn't get back up again. I am prepared for those because I've set up my mind to be prepared for those. I've set up my energy to be prepared, and I am ready in every kind of way to take on the challenge. But first and foremost, I need my energy to lead with my heart. So my intentions are always clear. My intentions are always for the better of everyone around me, including my business, including me, including my family, but also my clients. Okay, so I set that intention every day. And that is part of my morning routine, but sometimes I need to do it a little extra. So as I approach something that's going on in my business that I need to look at, I need to evaluate, or I need to be mentally and emotionally and energetically prepared for, there are some things that I strategically add into my day to make sure that I am at my best. So one thing is that I love to do grounding. I do grounding outside, my feet in the dirt. I do grounding by meditation sometimes. If I'm feeling like spacey, my head, like if I'm feeling anything where my head is just all over the place, or I feel like it's, 5 feet above my actual neck, I might need some grounding. Okay. If you guys ever feel brain fog, if you feel like, oh my gosh, I set aside this time to do this task and I'm sitting here and I cannot do it. What is happening? I cannot focus. I cannot pay attention, any of that's going on. There's a good chance that you might need to ground the energy first. This could happen for so many reasons too. I'll just say that we can come in contact with people that maybe they're feeling this way, or maybe they're scattered, or we can come across a situation where things are super scattered. And just by interacting with that, we might bring it back to our desk and back to our business and not be able to shake it. So there's a lot of really good things that I can do here. I have so many tools in my tool chest that will help me ground that energy again. I want you to look at grounding or meditation, whatever it is you have to do there, as an overall aspect, something that can be done at any time during the day. It can be done, 3 hours before you have to go to a session, or it can be done, 2 minutes before. Okay, so just look at that as a strategic way to get your intention set so that the next step is going to be even easier and you're ready for it. And I'll tell you what that is. If I am ready for one of these big meetings or something like that, I will turn on some music that is beneficial to my creative energy. And what do I mean by that? I like to pick and choose music based off of the ability to open my mind or to open those centers that involve creativity. Your root chakra would be more for creativity. So, that's also the chakra for like how sexy you feel. It's also the chakra for your intuition. This is a big one. And a lot of us have it kind of closed off and kind of just not really living the best life down there, which is fine. But a really good way to open it is to move. And so a lot of times I'll end up turning on this music and moving around a bit, maybe shaking my hips. I am blessed with big, beautiful hips, so I will shake them if I need to. And while I do that, I absolutely turn my brain off, okay? So yes, okay, my brain is always thinking 100% of the time. However, I can definitely disconnect my body from my brain in that sense, where I will move with what my body needs me to move in without worrying about what I look like, or if I'm crazy or not, or if the neighbors will hear me stomping around like a lunatic, right? Like I just move based off of what my body needs me to move. And I find that this is the best and easiest way for me to ignite that creative flow. If I cannot do that, it is totally fine. I have ways of opening up that area without that. I'll do some meditation listening to music, and I'll visualize some color coming into the area or some energy flowing in. I will just take time to really recognize that as a part of me that's opening up. And I'll even ask my body sometimes, I'll say, okay, let's go ahead and open that root chakra so that I can get my creative flow going, so that I'm ready for this next session or this next part of my day, whether it's an episode or whatever. So that is a lovely way to do it. And these are just super short tips, you guys. I definitely have a lot more information in the courses that I offer. So what's another one? Let's see. When I am headed to a session, I did this the other night, okay? I'm going to paint the picture for you. I had someone book last minute. However, this client, this photography client of mine, has been with me for 5 consecutive years. So I tend to, when I book people, they tend to stay with me. They use me year after year. They use me session after session if I'm doing coaching or whatever. So she'd been with me for about 5 years, and she messaged me days before and said, I haven't booked yet. Can we get the session in? Are you available this weekend? And then we set it up, and it didn't work on her end. It ended up not working. And so she rescheduled for a Monday night. Monday nights are a bit crazy for me, especially with the sun setting earlier, right, guys? So if we have a session before sunset, we need to be there at like 4:30 p.m. So, okay, lots of traffic, but also my daughter has hockey on that night. So I had to really make sure that it was going to work. And I made it work. I was like, yes, we can do this. And then that morning, I found out that the place where we wanted to shoot, they weren't going to let us shoot there. It's a long story. Basically remodeling and just some other things going on. They were like, yeah, you can't actually shoot here. Well, I've done a lot of sessions with her, and we've always done somewhere different. So we kind of, have exhausted a lot of different possibilities. And I was getting a tiny bit unnerved. I was like, okay, I have this vision, all the creatives will know what this is like. We have a certain vision, and we're like, wait a second, this feels like it's not going to play out the way I thought it was. So I messaged my client. I said, look, we can't shoot at this place, but they told me we can shoot there next week. Do you want to reschedule for next week? And she said, no, I can't, because I'm actually undergoing some health complications, and I feel really good today, and I'm not going to feel that way next week. And I was like, oh, so the plot thickens, right? Like, I'm being challenged to think outside of the box, because I felt very much in that moment that we needed to make this happen. Like, this is going to happen. I want her to get what she wants out of this session, pictures with her and her son. I want it to go well. I want to do the best that I can do on my end. So I am super dialing into this creative intuition at this point. I say, okay, let's do it. And I remember driving out there. In the meantime, I reached out to my local community of photographers on it. We have a Facebook group, and I just said, hey, I have to shoot. I have this scenario coming up. Any suggestions? Do you guys know anywhere that's a little bit different? I was just like really trying to fill it in, because I didn't have time to go scout. I didn't have time, honestly, during 4:30 and 5 o'clock. There's rush hour. So we're going to do an urban shoot. We're in the middle of the city in Tampa. You don't exactly get in your car and drive, a couple miles away and shoot again. Like, you're losing the sunshine, right? You're losing it. So you can't really do that. You kind of want to just stay where you're at, or get creative or go earlier. We couldn't go any earlier. Like, we were past that point where we could go earlier. So yeah, I remember driving into Tampa. It's about 40 minutes from where I'm at. And if I allowed it to overwhelm me, I'm going to tell you right now that feeling would have taken over 100%. But instead, I've been telling myself a story lately, probably for the past year and a half or 2 years, that has stuck with me and really, really just made me blossom. And that is that I love a challenge. And I found it to be true since I've had to do that, since I've thought that way. Like, there is something adventurous and mysterious about the unknown, right? And so as I'm driving there, of course, I already had to do my grounding before I left because I was feeling, like I said, a little unnerved. I definitely wasn't going into it like a normal session, just also with the added pressure of hoping this shoot was going to be everything that she wanted it and needed it to be, because in the back of your head, you're always like, well, if this doesn't work, we'll do another shoot, not that I've ever had to do that, but it's back there as like a little safety blanket. And so I didn't have that. I was sure that with this scenario, this was the shoot that we were going to do for these Christmas pictures this year. And so I'm driving out there. I've got my music on. I'm really dialed into just feeling the flow of creativity. And I had a crazy moment where I was like, look, you're doing what you're supposed to do right now. Like, you've set up all that you can. I had to trust on my previous experiences, right? I had to lean on the understanding and the knowledge that I've gained through all the past sessions and through all the work that I've done with my camera and all those days where I took a stinking picture every stinking day to learn how to use every kind of scenario and show it in an image. So I really had to just say, you know what, Aubrey, you can freaking do this. You've trained for this for 10 years. All that work you've done is for moments like this. So you got this. And I will say, I wasn't just depending on me and my past knowledge. I was also depending on that connection that I get with my intuition, with my creativity, and with the divine, because that is what truly pushes me along. That is what I feel like I need to trust that. And when I do, everything flows. So, as odd as that sounds, I know not everybody's there in their business and in their creative lives, but I will say it makes a huge difference for me. It makes a huge difference for me to know that it's not just me, that things will play out accordingly, and that I kind of trust the moment, right? I trust the moment. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen, and we're all where we need to be anyway. Okay, so it is just a different mindset. A lot of people would say, I cannot think that way. There's no way I can do that. And I'm here to tell you, I have not always thought that way. I have learned to think that way. A lot of it is from the shifts that I've made from releasing trapped emotions, from releasing generational trauma around me being on my own. Like a lot of thoughts around, let's say, no one's going to help you. If you're going to make it happen, it's all you, right? It's not necessarily bad. However, it will absolutely cloud your judgment. It will absolutely block you from being more creative. It will block you from tapping into that intuition that allows you to flow with those moments. So I have like a really strong belief in that it is something that we can all shift. And it's funny that this came up today to share with you guys, because I have been revamping my entire offer suite. And you guys know I used to just offer the one Deep Healing for the Creative Soul. And I have so many courses that I'm offering now that I haven't told anybody about. This is the first time I'm talking about it. But I'm going to talk about them now, because there is one in particular that is going to completely cover this. If you feel like you're struggling with this, if you feel like you have thoughts or ideas around not being able to tap into that creatively, if you feel like something is blocking you from getting back to how you used to be creative, or if you feel like the pressure from watching everybody else succeed is keeping you from being able to do that yourself, okay, that is a really good indication that you might love the class that is about using your intuition in your business. This is something that I've been working on for a little bit, and I am going to have it released for Black Friday. If you guys are not following me on Instagram, I encourage you to do so, because I've been selling a lot of these courses in my Instagram stories. And the ones that I haven't sold yet, I'm about to start doing that, because I can put all my information out there. People can say, hey, this sounds great, or nope, not for me. Either way, it's fine. We just move along. We all just move along, right? But I'll have that one. I have another one that I'm releasing very soon as well, called Becoming Magnetic, for everyone who's out there who's like, man, I cannot get these clients. I did all I could this year, and I'm not calling in the clients. I'm not calling in the money. I'm not calling in my intuition. I'm not calling in my creativity. I'm not living in those moments where I get to blossom into somebody that I dreamed of being, right? Because you're not being magnetic. And the reason why is because all of that is dull in your life. It has been turned off. We have walked away. We have given it a cold shoulder, right? Becoming magnetic is going to allow you to unlock those so that you become somebody who people come to for advice. They want to know what you're doing. They want to say, yeah, I know someone else offers that kind of session, or someone else offers that kind of, logo redesign or whatever. But I really like this person's vibe. I really like what they're putting out there. I love that they're authentic. I love that they're being themselves. All of these things that I've had to learn to do too. There's no shame in having to learn this. So that's going to be a good one too for you guys. Let me know if this is speaking to you. Definitely shoot me a message, follow me on Instagram, and sign up for the email list so that you guys are not kept out of the blue with all of this. It's going to be a huge shift and rebranding in my business, and it's already started happening. In fact, I'm already in the new version, the new rebranded version of what I want. Now I just have to bring you guys along with me, and you get to see all the different changes I've made, because I have not laid it out there yet, but it is very, very exciting and so aligned with me as a person that if you're listening to this, you honestly are already attracted to this kind of vibe. You're already in my world. You're absolutely going to love these changes that are coming. So have a beautiful, beautiful holiday for my USers, and enjoy the family, enjoy eating all the sugar and everything else that comes with the holiday, and take some naps. Dang it. All right, guys, I will talk to you soon. I hope this podcast spoke to you in some way. If it did, please go ahead and leave me a review and subscribe so that I know you're enjoying what you hear. And further, if you know somebody else who owns their own creative business and struggles with anything that we spoke about, please pass this on, because it is my hope that we will be able to build a community of like-minded individuals who love on each other and appreciate the many facets that make our creative business so unique. And lastly, check out the show notes to find my free Facebook community and other useful links to work with me. All right, friends, see you soon.